Well, the Zoom this morning was a smashing disaster, but sometimes that does happen, and all we can do is move on. I'm going to use my smartboard while I have access to it, so that's kind of exciting. So I wanted to give a quick rundown of the new AP test, what we do know, what we don't know, what's up in the air, what's not. This is straight from AP Central, so as schools and communities navigate the challenges posed by the outbreak, oh man, what happened? Quit that. The health and safety educators and students are the program's top priority. Here's how we're supporting schools. They provide remote learning resources, and they're interested in developing a new at-home testing option. And the second thing of those two things is the most important for you. Is that better? Maybe. Roll back. Oh my gosh, this is not going better than the Zoom. The biggest thing that you need to know is that this at-home test will not be 4 or 5 hours long. Okay? It's not going to be traditional, not going to be face-to-face. Instead, what you're going to do is take a 45-minute online free response exam at home. That means you're going to write it. So there is no multiple choice. Let's take a moment to mourn for our multiple choice practice we've been doing all year. Okay? But we'll persevere and move on. That pretty well is going to mean like one essay question to the best of my reckoning. Now, we'll have more information on this probably next week, but this is what I got right now. You'll also be given 2 options for when you want to take that test. One is sooner, one is later. Again, we don't know when, but I am working on it. So the full exam schedule, specific type, question type, and everything, all those details will be available April 3rd. No one knows anything more than that until April 3rd. We'll be in College Board. We'll unlock any relevant free response questions so that you can access practice questions. And we will take full advantage of that come April, but for right now, we simply just don't have it. Next question you might ask yourself is a question of accessibility. You can use a smartphone to take this test, or a computer, or a tablet. You can handwrite your response and send a picture of it. I don't know what the specific criteria will be, since it will be timed for handwriting it, but I'm sure that will be available April 3rd as well. You will be able to check out a Chromebook from the school if you need it to take the exam. If you have no access to internet at all, which is going to be, kind of a moot point, because if you're watching this video, you probably have internet. But anyway, let me know, or tell your buddies and let them let me know, and we'll work something out. We just need to know by the time we get those test dates. So from College Board, testing security is a concern because you're taking it at home, right? You guys know, if you've ever taken the ACT, that it's dodgy. They got to check who you are, make sure you're not cheating. If you cough too loudly, you can be dismissed, your phone goes off. But the exam question is designed and administered in a way that prevents cheating. They use digital security tools, techniques, which means that whenever you access that, it'll probably lock the screen. And they'll also include some plagiarism detection software to protect the integrity of the exams. And they have scored at-home exams for other classes, like the AP Computer Science or the AP Capstone courses. But this is not the place to try and cheat, right? A captain goes down with the ship. Do not embarrass yourself. Don't embarrass me, your school, your mom, your dad, your guardian, whoever. This will be the question, and it'll be kind of do or die. So if it's a hard question, do your best. If it's an easy question, even better. But the advantage to having one question is that you don't have to write your essay after being fried through, 45 or 50 multiple choices. So that's a positive, but just know that you can't get online and steal an essay in that 45 minutes. They won't score your exam. Okay. There's also some live AP review courses that are currently free. They're delivered by AP teachers from across the country. I'm still kind of feeling these out. Okay, some are better than others, so I'm kind of running through them before I send them to you. Your skills practice this week for IXL is just to keep your writing talents honed. Bar writing another essay and just keep practicing and keep practicing. It's one of the best things that we can do. And since your exam is going to be an essay or a free response writing, it's just, it's going to help. So I know that it might feel like busy work, but, keep those writing skills honed. And remember that we are all in this together. Everyone is in the same boat. Now, I want to talk briefly. Can I flip the camera while I'm recording? Is that an option? What does that mean? Nope, that took a picture. Anyway, I want to talk a little bit. I'm just going to kind of... I can show you this. I want to talk a little bit about the week after next and on into, kind of the fourth quarter. I don't know when we're coming back. I just don't have that information. And if I had it, I would tell you. But I'm going to give you guys the option of choosing one of 4 units individually. So it does not have to be that your class picks one of these things. It could be that you could be working on one thing, your buddy could work on something else. So the first option I'm going to give you guys is a unit called the Survivor Brain, and it looks at questions like, what is grit? Is humankind a part of nature or in contest with it? Does man crave freedom or safety? And why do we find stories of survival so interesting? We will look at Into the Wild as a primary text, but we'll read other things. But that's kind of what that one's going to be about. There'll also be one for speculative fiction and why it matters. So what is creativity? Where does it come from? Why is it important to have creative thinkers in society? How are dystopian and utopian works intended to mirror society? And is speculative fiction meant to be a mirror or a warning? So speculative fiction is like sci-fi fantasy. If you got a good imagination, that might be for you. Next one is ethics in science and medicine. Well, you can see that already. Where is the line drawn between nature and progress? Should there be limits on what scientists can and can't do? And what's the relationship between ethics and medicine? And the fourth one will be kind of a survey of humanities, right? So how has society and culture evolved? What traits did different societies value? What makes someone cultured, and why do we make art? And then compare and contrast 2 cultures will be what you do for that one. That one's more history-based, but kind of the takeaway from that is that since you're AP, we will, of course, enrich with AP-style writings along the way, but you can kind of pick what area you want to work in. I will send you a video with more information on all those things. Have a nice view of my desk with all those things. Probably Thursday, maybe next Monday. We'll see. Okay. Can't be next Monday, so we're starting next Monday. Definitely by Friday. And then you can kind of pick. The rub is once you pick one, you're stuck in that one. So be thinking what you're interested in as far as like history or science or fantasy or like real world grit. I miss your faces and I wish we were back in school. Have a good quarantine.